Hello everyone, my name is Liv and I'm so excited to say welcome to my BookTube channel. I have wanted to make one for so long now, have been planning on making one for so long now, and then kind of just finally did it, so here we are. For my first video I thought I would do the first date book tag since it's my first video on here, so this is our first date. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So book number one is Awkward First Date, a book where something kind of just felt off, didn't really have that spark. So for this question I am picking Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. I was really excited to read this book because I'd heard so many people talked about it and they just loved it. I did enjoy the book, have not read the other two, just the first one, but I don't know, it was just not really my book, and which is weird because I love fantasy, I love all the supernatural kind of stuff, but I just couldn't really get into it, so that is my Awkward First Date. Number two is Cheap First Date, which is a book that turned out less than you expected, and for that I'm picking Spontaneous by Erin Starmer. This, again, a book I was super excited to read, heard so many good things about it, but then when I did read it, I don't know, the spark was definitely not there. It just wasn't really a book I enjoyed necessarily, especially with the ending. I was not a big fan of the ending whatsoever. I personally just didn't really think it had as much of an ending as I was hoping for. So that is my cheap date. Number three is Well Prepared First Date, and for that I am picking Zodiac by Romina Russell. This book I actually looked at it because I thought the cover was really pretty. I love zodiacs and constellations and astrology and everything about that, so I thought this would be super interesting for me to read, and I loved it. I never hear anyone talk about it, which I think is really weird because I think everyone should read it. It's an amazing book. I love it so much, and so that was my Well Prepared First Date. Number four is Hot But Dumb, a book that you thought was going to be great because it had a really nice cover, but the inside was just not so hot, and for that I picked Allegiant by Veronica Roth, and I think most of you know why I picked Allegiant by Veronica Roth. It's the ending to the Divergent trilogy. I love the Divergent trilogy. It's one of my favorites. However, the last book did not meet my standards exactly, but I did love the cover. I think the cover is beautiful, but the inside just didn't really match what I was hoping for. Number five is Blind Date, which is a book that you picked up without knowing much about it. And for me, that book is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I read this book, I want to say sophomore or junior year of high school, because my two best friends at the time were telling me how good it was, so I borrowed it from one of them, but they wouldn't really tell me what it was about. They were just like, oh, just read this book, you will love it. So I picked it up and I really enjoyed it. I love this book, it's one of my favorites, so that is definitely my blind date choice. Number six is Speed Dating, which is a book you read super fast, and my choice for this, the first one that came to my mind was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which was my greatest reading accomplishment to this date. I read this book when I was in 7th grade, and I read it in 3 days. I locked myself in my room over winter break and I just speed read the entire thing. I'm sure you can all understand why, because it's the finale to the world's greatest book series. So that was my speed dating experience. And that then leads into number seven, which is The Rebound, which is a book you read too soon after a book hangover, and it kind of just ruined the book for you. And my choice for this, I am so sad because I do really love this book, is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This was the first book I picked up after finishing The Deathly Hallows, and I started reading it that night, and that was just a terrible idea. I regret doing it because I feel like I don't appreciate City of Bones as much as I should. I do still really love the books. I have read the first two. I plan on reading the other one soon, but it was just, I just could not get into it the way that I wanted to. So that is definitely my rebound. Number eight is Overly Enthusiastic Date, which is a book that you felt was trying too hard, and for that I am going to pick The Shade of the Moon by Susan Beth Pfeffer. This is the last book in the Life as We Knew It series about when an asteroid hit the moon and it completely caused the end of the world. I really enjoyed these books. I read the first one when I was in 5th grade, and then I picked up the other ones about a year ago, and I don't know. I was so excited because it was going to be the last book. I really enjoyed the other ones, but it just didn't really live up to the hype that I was expecting, and it was everything just kind of happened. It was all happening at once really fast, so it just wasn't really my kind of book, so that was my overly enthusiastic. Number 9 is Perfect First Date, and that was a book that did everything right for you. And so my first thought when I thought about this question was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is one of my favorite books. I picked it up my senior year of high school from my school's library because I'm a fangirl. It seemed fun. Reading the inside cover, I was like, okay. This sounds really, really good. I have to read this. So I just completely powered through it. I got through it so fast. I was obsessed with it. Still am to this day. It's one of my favorite books. So that is my Perfect First Date. And finally, number 10 is Humiliating First Date. That is a book that you are embarrassed to admit that you like, or you are embarrassed to be seen reading in public. And I feel like my answer for this is kind of generic, but I'm going to go with Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. I know, shocker. I did really, really enjoy the Twilight series. To this day, I still watch the movies now and then. But I feel like it's become so mainstream just to hate on Twilight that I'm kind of like, yeah, Twilight, it's kind of dumb. But I actually really enjoyed Twilight. It's still on my bookshelves to this day. So that is my Humiliating First Date. So I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more from me. Super excited to get this channel going and get it started. So I hope you really did enjoy this video. Comment down below any other tags you think I should do or any other videos in general because I would love to get those up for you guys. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.